All right, guys, how are you? Just gonna do the watch list video for tomorrow. So let's take a look, and as you guys can see here, lots of these squiggly lines all over my futures chart here. This is again kind of mapping out the market. It's all about support and resistance. So you can see market was in this up channel. It broke a key important resistance level. Now you have these kind of three spinning top candles on the way back, retesting support. So far, support is holding. So we'll see if this turns into kind of a bigger bull flag that's going to go and break out and continue above. So we shall see. Again, the pattern's holding. Now we got to see if the market will continue up. And you can see kind of a double bottom-ish pattern here. So you can see a bottom here, maybe setting up to continue upwards. We got to wait and see. So before I begin the watch list, just to show you guys over on our YouTube channel, you'll see YouTube. We'll go to Bullish Bears. Right, today Angel did a top gainers from today for yesterday's watch list. So make sure you guys watch this recap. She recapped our today's gainers from yesterday's watch list. So again, if you've been over to our website or if you haven't, make sure you'll see up here each day under lists. We do a day trading watch list, which is updated daily, as well as our swing trade watch list, which is updated several times per week. And with our watch list, we do our trade alert setups right here. So you can see the setups key right underneath here are the list right here in the trade alert setups that we send out with our corresponding watch list. We do real-time trade alerts as well. That's for those that want to follow our bigger swing trades. Those aren't necessarily what goes on our watch lists. These are different trades, so if you want real-time alerts here, but we do our setups that are good, helpful guides. These are ones that are stocks that are basically having momentum for breakouts, short-term breakouts. That could be on penny stocks as well as some of the larger cap stocks. So if you are a member, you can actually, if you're not a member, you can sign up, try us out for 14 days. If you are a member, just log in up here, and each day we post the alert setups right here. And you'll see right here was a trade for SUPV. And if you're watching our stream that I did earlier today, you'll see we were really talking about SUPV. Really probably wasn't on, I didn't see it on Trade Ideas when it hit. So again, this is our watch list. They fire off a lot. We have close to a 90% trigger ratio every week on our stocks. So these stocks many of times are ones that you're going to, be able to trade, really capitalize on, and it won't be on a lot of other traders' radar. So it's a good way to be able to scalp and make some good money. So make sure you take a look at our watch list. So again, a combination of our watch list as well as Trade Ideas. We post the top gappers here every morning. So you'll see Trade Ideas gappers posted by 9:15 a.m. here, as well as our watch list posted each night here. So basically you take our watch list and the top gainers that are moving under Trade Ideas, and then you weed your watch list for the open and have them up on, some of the other ones that might not be running yet in the morning. Keep them off to the sidebar on a chart kind of like this, right? So you can kind of fill them in right over here. So you can kind of keep them on watch. So if something's not moving, right when you want it to, it might a little while later. So yes, Dan says our alerts are fire. So for the cool kids that are out there, I think fire would be like the new, that might be the new cool kid term now. I think fire. So I don't think saying on fire might not be cool. But if you just say like our alerts are fire, I think that's the new term. I think before it used to be lit. So our trade alerts are lit. I don't think a lit is I don't think lit is cool anymore. I think it's just fire. But I don't know. Who the heck knows? I'm into clothes, not necessarily lingo. But as you'll see here, let's take a look at SUPV. Right over here from the watch list. I'm not going to go too in depth on it, but you'll see Angel had an alert. You can watch her recap at or above 749. She wrote, holding its highs with volume. If price can bake 750, watch for $8 resistance. So just go over and let's put that alert on there. Or did I do the watch list yesterday? No, I think Angel did. So she said holding its highs. So as you guys can see, just kind of going back to yesterday. Let's just draw the line. So holding its highs. See if it can get above 750, right? If price can break for 750, watch for $8 resistance. So $8 right here. And as you can see today, price at the open, you can see it took off and it broke. So you can see even pre-market, there was not much going on pre-market. Not like there was a lot of volume in the pre-market, you know, which is okay because many people are looking at trade ideas at the open. They probably weren't looking at this. And then right here, if you zoom in, so it kind of just dipped down, right? And then boom, took off right here, had one little retest back, and then it consolidated, right? So here's where you could have had a good potential entry right off that 9 EMA there. And then you'll see kind of just kept going and going, pulled back right down over here, kind of curved down over in here. And then you can see it then took off again. So there was a couple plays to trade this. You could have traded it right in here, maybe in here, over in here for a quick pop here, quick pop up here. And then as it curled back down, kind of went back up again, and then it broke out above that 805 level, kind of retested, and then it kind of went up to 827. So there's a few places that you could have traded this and scalped it along the way. And then you could have kind of basically drawn your, you know, so there was, you know, kind of in here at one point, and then watched as it broke and fell out of here. And then you could have kind of traded it also too, if you draw on your trend lines kind of in this area right over in here. You could have watched and, you know, as it traded it on the way up, and then when it started to fail here, you could have been, hey, get out as well. So, you know, there was just kind of draw your trend lines and you can kind of look at these patterns. So you want to see it, obviously, the moving average lines separate and ride the moving average lines up. And then obviously, you know, as a fail safe, if it starts to fail those trend lines, that's a potential warning sign. So this, again, you know, this had some good plays on it right down in here, you know, for some pops. You know, like if you're just trying to day trade these to scalp 10 cents here or there, boom, boom. And then, you know, depending on whether you want to get in on the anticipation of a break of high a day or watch for it to break out, come back and retest, even right in here, 811 up to like, you know, 826 or so, you know, that's the potential for 10 to 15 cent move, which is really good. So that's what you're trying to do on Trade Ideas. So make sure you look at our watch list as well. These watch lists really fire off. So speaking of which, let's take a look and see what's going on for tomorrow. Let's look at futures. So futures, again, got to watch and see if they are going to hold. And is this going to turn into a flag and hold and break out, or is it going to fail, bouncing right off that 50 SMA? So remember, this is a spinning top candle, so many times it affects the potential plays for the next day. So we'll have to see if there's anything good to look at, or if there's a bunch of garbaccio. We shall see. Look at that one, right off the 9 EMA. Kind of cup and handle-ish, or possible inverse and shoulders, but it's smacking off the 9 EMA, so not digging that one at the moment. Typically, I might not look at this one because it's been running up for a few days, kind of pulling back, but lots of volume. You can see it's a penny stock, as well as there is a potential. I always like to use the word potentially. Daily gap fill that might want to go right around, let's see, 42 cents. So again, not a lot of movement potential. Not saying it can't go higher or lower. However, if you look at this daily setup, where the heck I gotta go? My chart's messing me up here. So you can see there's a daily gap between that 29 cents to 42 cents. So if it can get above 32 cents, it has the potential to move up 10 cents. So this has the potential to go from 32 to potentially 42 cents. So a 10 cent potential move on a 30-cent stock, not so bad. So for as far as a penny stock setup, that might be decent one to watch. So on a really lower penny stock, that's one to definitely keep an eye on. 30 cents is, if it moved 10 cents and you were able to scalp 5 or 6 cents or something on a on a cheapo penny stock, that ain't so bad. HSGX, so we'll put that one on the watch list for a cheapo. I hear I'm not sure if it's the FedEx or the UPS truck. I do have an ASOS order that may be potentially being delivered today. So my doorbell, hopefully it'll ring today, and we shall see. And look at that nasty high wave candle caught up right between the moving average lines. That's nasty looking, so I'm not going to put that one on. Another one kind of caught between the moving average lines, looking a little nasty. Don't like that one. So we are looking stocks that are holding their highs. So this is one that I would maybe put this on. So big green candle today holding its highs, although I don't like how it's caught up between the moving average lines. However, it might be doing, if it can go, it might have a chance. Again, not a lot of great potential plays right now so far with the market. So I might put that one on for a possible, maybe, if it can clear the moving average lines, maybe trying to set up. We shall see. So I'm not sure how not loving that one at the moment. Don't love it. Definitely don't like that one. I'm getting excited hearing the brakes. I can always tell because you have those UPS trucks or FedEx. When they hit their brakes, they squeal typically a lot. So it's getting closer to 5 o'clock, and it sounds like one of those types. It makes me feel good. I like hearing the sound. So maybe we'll hear and see if it's the delivery person. Not really loving that one either. PRTS. Not really good setups, guys. So this one, it's a little bit more overextended than I want. But then I look at the 5 minute. I'm saying, maybe is it going to hold here on the 5 minute? Let's take a look at the hourly. So this one's maybe, it's just, Let's see. See that? Or a pullback right below that 137 marker. This is a maybe for right now. I'm going to take a look. I hope, yeah, Angel says, isn't it fun to make a watch list right now? No, it's not. Not very fun. Lots of garbaccio. So there is a potential for a daily gap fill there, but it's caught right between the moving average lines. I don't love it. Maybe I'll just stop the video and say no video. But we like to show you guys, even when the market's crappy, we like to show you why As you guys can see, I don't really love any of this. I might not even put any of these really on it. And you can see, look at this. Nasty looking, that's a, whatever you want to call that thing. Upside down, long-legged candle. NETS, nope. Not digging these at all. Caught right between the moving average lines. So you see these ones, guys, they're just kind of like closing in between moving average lines, getting spanked, slapped right around, all around these moving average lines. Lots of messiness. Spinning top candle in between moving average lines. Garbaccio. Let's take a look at the next one. See, this is one that you maybe would look at, but it's kind of bearish on the 5-minute possible head and shoulders, but it's in a gap. So this is where it could just be all over the place. Let's look at the hourly. Yeah, so this one I would potentially look at, even though it's a bit overextended. It's in a gap. That's when it gets all crazy. You can see that 718 area. Let's move. So it's in the gap, has room to go. A bit overextended, but may want to move up into that gap area more potentially. You can see it's a little bit bearish on a 5-minute, but if it can continue upwards, maybe it'll go up into that gap. So at least there's something going on with that one. That I would put that one on there. HEB. Dan is saying, what about HEB? I wonder where Dan found HEB. I'm not sure if Dan is being... Okay, I see. So there's potential, right? There's the potentially. There's 2 green days right up here. Lots of volume. Typically, I personally wouldn't usually put this one on the next day, but I can see why somebody would, because there's 2 big green days. It has the chance to still continue to pump up. I personally try to avoid something like this because of the kind of high wave-ish candle in between the moving average lines, which doesn't mean it can't pump up more and continue. So I look right here, maybe towards the end of the day. Let me see where it's. So it's kind of trading sideways. So this is where, again, matter of someone's trading preference. Some people some people will like to trade this because they would see, okay, they would probably go to the hourly and see, okay, and well, held its highs and then smacked right back down. So this is where it just gets nasty in the aftermarket. It was kind of holding its highs at the end of the day, but now I look at this and I'm like, well, that's a potential head, left shoulder, possible head and shoulders. So, again, everybody, the way they trade is differently. This could potentially have another day up, but I just like to see, I like clear movement between the moving average lines. So long story short, no, Dan, I don't personally love it. I don't like it at all either. ITCI caught in between the moving average lines. Don't love it or like it. So this is something where I start to look at something like this, right? A little bit messy, but here's a pattern. Really selling off, oversold. I wish that the hammer was down a little bit further, but you have now a bullish harami pattern. So this is a potential reversal pattern. It's a little bit bigger of a candle inside than I like, but at least there's a clear-cut pattern. Bullish harami after being oversold. If it can get above that 1343 level, there's room for it to go. On the hourly, let's look at the hourly. It's clearing the 20 EMA on the hourly. The moving average lines are potentially crossing. So there's movement, there's a pattern, and there's a reason why it's happening, obviously, after being oversold. So this is one I absolutely really like, MEC. So if it can clear above 1343, I would look at obviously $14 and then, you know, resistance at the moving average lines. This is one, again, to keep an eye on. It's got room to run. But I ideally like to see smaller candles, but there's not much to look at because the watch list kind of stinks right now. Or the market's kind of a little bit messy. Aha. So this is one I definitely like to take a look at. So kind of a double bottomish pattern on the daily. Price is right below a whole dollar amount. And it's holding its highs a little bit. Well, it's a little bit overextended on the 5-minute. But if it can clear that $10 and these moving average lines can cross, this could be setting up for a double bottom breakout potentially. Kind of a cup pattern. So again, a little bit overextended, but it's clear cut of what it needs to do. If it can break out over $10, that is one. If it can break out and hold $10, then you have kind of a possible cup and handle-ish breakout. One I definitely like to see. Again, a little bit overextended, but at least there's a reasoning of what might be potentially happening. You can see, oh, that's the 4-hour chart. Well, 4-hour chart again, double bottom. So again, just keep an eye and see if it can go and break out. CVSI, that's a pot stock, I believe. Nasty looking high wave candle in between moving average lines. So this is where, you know, a newbie trader can hear maybe again. So CVSI had a good day today, right? Moved up. So newbie person could hear people talking like, oh, pot stocks are running again. Maybe, right? Well, what does that mean exactly? And where would you trade this, right? Got to know the patterns. Just because a stock has a good green day doesn't mean the whole sector is taken off. That's the problem with these pot stock charts. When you have days like this, you got to get them. You want to see price clearing these moving average lines. So you can see, you know, it took off from 410 all the way up to 494. That's a big move up. But it also is giving back a lot of its gains. So pot stocks are great to trade when you get the right setup. TRTC, that's another one, I believe. That's a pot stock as well. Again, so here's another one, kind of getting that move up, possibly that pump caught between the moving average lines. I like to see it when they clear it, the moving average lines. But just keep an eye on the sector. It may go. I'd like to see it have a little bit better of a setup. So just keep an eye on pot stocks. They may be getting a little bit of a pump potentially. That one's already looks like it's filled the gap right here. So I don't know. I'm not digging that one at the moment. No. All right, so maybe I'm not a fan of that shooting star candle on the 5-minute. It's near resistance, right at that 50 SMA on the daily. Moving average lines are pinching, maybe looking to cross over. Let's take a look at the hourly. Little bit overextended, has some room. This is one that could be a little bit iffy. I don't like that 5-minute sell-off candle there. But it may, let's see here. Possible cup pattern, so if it can hold that 1350-ish level, if maybe it'll retest 1350. If it can hold, then maybe it'll get a breakout above that 50 SMA with room to that $14 range. So that's one I may take a look at. So you guys can see we put on our day trade watch list a little bit of a mix between the low floaters and some of the kind of the medium to higher floaters. Again, we're looking on our day trade watch list to trade momentum. We want to break out to capitalize, you know, on a move. And that's why you'll see some of them, you know, they might pop up just a little bit. And then other ones, they do really well during the week. So that's why by the end of the week, you know, maybe it takes a day or so for the stock to run. But, you know, if it pops up and it gaps up 50 cents or some point during the day and you can scalp 10, 15, 20 cents in the move, that's what you're looking to do. When day trading, you're looking to capitalize on the momentum. Not digging that. So you can see a lot of these are just caught up in the moving average lines right now. That's what I try to avoid for you guys. That has a head, left shoulder, right shoulder. That's kind of got a head and shoulders. GBTC, that's Bitcoin. Be very careful with that one. Normally I wouldn't look at this one, but I can see a potential, a gap, I think, right back over here. So let's take a look and see where that... Is there a gap on the daily? I can't tell here. What is that? Let's go back. There is a gap right there. So normally I really wouldn't look at those, but if you can see, there's a potential gap to that 1143. So let's look at the hourly. So you had kind of a cup and handle or inverse head and shoulder breakout there, or V bottom. It may want to have another little push potentially up. So, you know, on $11 stock, if it can go from 11 up to 11.43, there's, you know, 40 cents potential there. Don't love it, but it's a maybe. And I'm probably going to read these down because I'm not really liking a lot of them at the moment. So this one, maybe you can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders, kind of holding its highs. Next level up will be that 720. So you do have a kind of a head and shoulders pattern. You know, so that's just, so you got kind of an inverse head and shoulders, kind of a head and shoulders up here. Might be looking to move up. Let's look at the hourly. That's just such a mess. These stocks are a mess right now. Not feeling that one. SUPV is a little bit overextended for me right now and trading sideways, so I wouldn't put that one back on. APPS, maybe. It's got tweezered tops right now, which I don't like, but it may be forming a possible maybe cup and handle-ish if it can break out. If it can hold, you know, 460 up to $5, there might be a window to scalp within there if it can continue. Right up 470 up to 496. There's a little bit of potential there. Again, not really great on these ones. I might put it on to take a look at it and maybe weed it off. So at this point, let's just kind of go through these real quick and see which ones I'll keep on. I'm going to probably keep on 42 cents. I'm going to put this one on for HSGX. Let's do this just because there's a little bit of room. Let's see. A bit over extended, but watch for possible gap fill on daily around 42 cents. So, you know, this has the potential to move 12 cents on a 30-cent stock. That's why I put that one on, just for a possible cheapo stock that may have some potential. MVIS, I'm going to take off. It's just caught in the moving average lines. That's why I want to take that one off. I'm not really a fan of that one. PRTS. It's kind of a bit overextended. There's really not a huge reasoning. Could it move? Yes, but there's not a lot going on with it, so I'm probably going to take that one off. ACIU. There is a potential reason for this to may want to continue, even though it's not looking so hot on the 5-minute, because there is a gap. You know, if it can, you know, at some point move up a little bit more, it might have a chance to go up to the 200 SMA. So I would put this one so it's a bit overextended, but in the gap, watch for potential continuation with resistance at 200 SMA right up here. So see if it'll continue up with resistance at that 200 SMA, which is still in this gap. So that may have a potential reason to want to move up a little bit. This one's not the greatest. However, possible, or again, bullish Harami might have some continuation. Has some room up to that, I'd say that $14 and then $14.26. So I'd say $14, be aware of some resistance. You know, that whole dollar amount. So, but again, patterns, very important to be aware of. Bullish Harami on daily. Watch for potential continuation with resistance at around $14. The IRS. Double bottom. A bit over, you know, so a little bit overextended. Let's take a look at the hourly. Might be setting up a bit overextended, but might be setting up for a double bottom breakout. So double bottom on daily. Watch for possible breakout over $10. So that $10 is a very important amount. Watch, keep an eye on it, see if it can break out kind of a double bottom. Watch for a possible double bottom breakout. DESP. Where the gap fill on the 140. Which one do I like better? This one. I'm not liking that one as much. I'm deciding whether I'm going to keep SPKE. There is that gap. Maybe let's look at APPS. Let's do this one. Price holding 9 EMA on daily. Watch for potential continuation with resistance at 496. I'm going to take off SPKE. So we have, 5 to keep an eye on. Maybe 1 or 2 will be decent to look at tomorrow if the patterns will play out. Again, market's a bunch of garbaccio right now. We'll have to look at trade ideas in the morning. That's why it's good to have our watch list and trade ideas. So at this point, let's take a look at some of the larger cap stocks, see if there's anything to put on potentially for the swing trade watch list. So we're done with day trade one. We'll see if there's anything to put on for swing trade. All right, GE. Maybe kind of an inverse head and shoulders, cup and handle-ish. I like to see a little bit more clear-cut pattern, so I'm not digging that. J&J rejected the breakout here at 142. Doesn't mean it can't go up. Still keep an eye on it. Don't like it at the moment. Kind of a left shoulder head. Maybe it'll form another right shoulder here for a possible inverse head and shoulders. I'm not digging it really at the moment. Pfizer. So this one has a basically kind of like a piercing pattern right here. Piercing right into this candle. Maybe setting up for a possible potential break. And you can see kind of a rising wedge pattern. This one's interesting. So it's holding on the 9 EMA. It's a mess over here on the 5 minute. It's right in the middle of that channel on the daily. Still a little bit. This one could go either way. I like to see a little bit more clear cut, but it's one I would maybe keep an eye on if it can break out above 43. So this is kind of like one of those ones that it's not a huge potential move, but you might get some type of pop up here. I'm going to look on it. Just keep a sideways eye on it. You don't like the volume graph on TOS, Mike? Garbaccio. So I would look at this, but this is a mess, right? So this is falling. You do have a bullish harami, but it's like got this upside down looking doji candle. So I'd like to see a little bit more clear cut than that. So I'm going to skip that one. Waste management. This one maybe. This might make me a little bit nervous. It's holding on the 9 EMA. It's got a rising wedge. May continue up near resistance. It is holding still. This one could go either way. Man. Let's see. Possibly. You can see here. So you kind of have maybe an inverse head and shoulder or cup and handle pattern forming. Let's look at the daily. It's holding on the daily. Make me a little bit nervous on the weekly. Let's keep it off to the side and see for right now. So this is where I get a little bit iffy. It's in a rising wedge. It's a bit overextended. it still may have some room up here to that 1516 range. It may have a couple dollar move or a pop up. I would just get a little bit nervous with how overextended it is, but it's one that might have a little bit of room to move a little bit, a dollar or two. So this could be a short-term potential play. It could break out as well. That's a thing to keep an eye on. Walmart, it's a bit overextended. Kind of tweezer tops, but it could move up. It's a little bit too overextended for me. Twitter. No. So this one's kind of got a flag-ish kind of going. It's not the great, or a pennant. It's a bit overextended. This one's weird a little bit with Visa. I'm going to kind of stay away from that one. No. So as you guys can see, not a lot going on in the markets for good potential plays. Let me just do a quick flip and see ones that are selling off, see if there's any good bearish setups. That one's nasty. I like to see when they're either going to break, like they're above the moving average lines or below them. So I like to see a little bit more room. Whereas something like this, where it might be starting to fail, Angel's favorite stock, NVIDIA. This one has kind of an evening star. This one may be looking to fail. Potentially. Potentially. You have kind of, but although this could be an inverted cup and handle. So look at this, a cup and handle. So as I was looking to potentially go bearish on it, if you look at the pattern, it could have an inverted cup and handle. So look at the upside down cup right near here. This might be a fake out to then move up. So that's a perfect looking inverted cup and handle. Yeah, so this is where you can see something where, like, on the daily it looked like it might be starting to fail. It looks terrible on the hourly, but then you could also think, maybe the buyers might want to start to come in potentially right around here. The buyers might be coming in to push it back up. So this might be one. This might be one to keep an eye on. Whereas it looks bad with this evening star, but there's room for it to go. This one, I might inverted cup. No, inverted cup and handle. It is bearish. Yes, you're correct, Angel. However, this is where I'm a little bit. It could go either way because it may still, unless it fails this right here. That's the thing. It could fail this support level here. So it is a bearish. So this is evening star. It is bearish. But what also potentially intrigues me on it is to see, are the buyers going to come in here and hold it? So you can see, that's where This is where it can go either way. That's why I was saying potentially on it. It's very bearish, but if the buyers come in and push it up, it might, you can see right down here, they came in, potentially down here, sellers came in here at the bottom of the channel. They may try to push it back up. That's why I was just potentially looking at it. So I don't know which one if I like it either way right now. I was just trying to look at it a little bit more. We'll decide in a moment. This is what I like to see more of a pattern. Here is a evening star pattern, and it's closing below the moving average lines. That's what I like to see a little bit more of a pattern. So let's see. That's Goldman Sachs. These are the banks. Let's take a look at take a look at the hourly. It's right near that, below that 200 SMA. So it's below the 200 SMA. This one might be one to keep an eye on for. Let's see. What do you think, Angel? Do you like Goldman Sachs for a potential bearish play? Down to that 186 level. So evening star, failing moving average lines. Potential in Goldman Sachs. Here's another evening star pattern, but it's above in the moving average lines. It could still go down further. Let's see on the hourly Facebook. This one has. I might actually look at Facebook a little bit. This one I might like a little bit more. Come on. Let's see. Do you like Facebook, Angel? Maybe. Let's see here. So it's below the moving average lines on the hourly. They might be starting to cross. This one on the daily as well. It's still caught in between. It is getting a bounce right here, but you do have an evening star pattern right here. This may be looking to fail. It's which one, Angel? Bear flag on the hourly. Are you talking Facebook or are you talking? Yeah, Facebook kind of has a bear flag, kind of descending triangle-ish. I'm going to put Facebook on. Netflix has kind of a bearish potential play as well. I'm going to get rid of these other ones here. NVIDIA, Facebook. Let's see. It's another evening star pattern on Baba. See, I like this a little bit more. This one might have a little bit more room. So another kind of evening stars pattern, failing moving average lines. These are the banks that are this is doing it too right now. Let's see here. Another, I'd like to see it below the 200 SMA. Yeah, I might put JP Morgan. Let's see. Hey, Laura, how's it going? Let me just weed these down here a little bit because there's a lot of garbage right now. Goldman Sachs has an evening star. Let's look at the hourly. I'd like to see a little bit more. NVIDIA, I'm going to take off. Waste management. This one's a little bit just too up there for me on the daily. A little bit overextended where this can go either way at the moment. So I just want to stay away from that one. JP Morgan. A little bit less expensive than Goldman Sachs. A little bit more room to fall. I think I might look at JP Morgan a little bit more. So if it can fail that 109 level, there's the potential for it to kind of go around this 107 level down to 105. Yeah, I think I'm going to do JP Morgan, Facebook, bearish. Let's look at Pfizer. I'm not going bullish. Everything, as you guys can see, is kind of on the bullish side, guys, or a bearish side. So I'm going to go take the bearish side of things right now on these setups. All right, so as you can see, it went up, it filled the gap. Now it's filling the gap here on Facebook. Right here. Might be rising wedge. Might be failing a rising wedge. Evening star pattern. Let's see on the hourly. It's just not as clear cut as I would like to see it. So as you guys can see, guys, as I'm going through this whole process, I'm just not loving, because here's the thing. There's an evening star pattern, rising wedge. It is bouncing within here. It looks bearish, but at the same time, buyers may come in. You know, you can maybe go bearish, but the buyers might come in and push this thing up. So yeah, I'm not liking it either way at the moment. I mean, it's looking more bearish. JP Morgan looks more bearish, but at the same time, it is bouncing, and this could turn into a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. This could turn into an inverse head and shoulders and go the other way. And then if you look at the hourly, you know, it's not good by any means, but it is bouncing. If it can get I'm not going to, so bottom line, guys, this is the psychology behind all this. When you look at this and you put it all together, it's just everything's kind of right now. So I'm not going to put anything on the swing trade watch list. We're just going to have a daily watch list for tomorrow. So I could have kept this video short, but I want to show you guys this is trading. I want to show you guys the psychology behind everything that we're going into and what we're looking at. And as you guys can see, you know, this video right here, I showed you start from finish what we're looking at. You have almost an hour-long video. This is what it takes every single day to build your watch list. You know, if you're just kind of weeding out, building, this is what goes behind the good and the bad days of building a watch list. All of that to get 5 on the daily, and they're not even that great. Because the market, again, when you go over to the watch list, the futures over here, futures are in indecision mode, right? So is this going to be a bull flag and continue and break out potentially, or is it going to fall and fail right here and go to the downside? It can go either way, but that indecision affects everything over here in the stocks that we choose for the watch list. So yeah, swing trading is very difficult at the moment. But this is where, guys, again, we do all the dirty work and the hard work for you guys. If you head over to our website at bullishbears.com, you will see we have 3 trade rooms over here. We have a day trade, swing trade, futures room. We do most of our live streaming within our day trading and swing trading room. Each night, again, we post our day trading watch list right here by 9 p.m. Our swing trade down here, that's why you'll see several times per week. I'll basically put no watch list for tomorrow because, again, market's in indecision mode and just nothing I really like either way. We have several $1,000s worth of free courses over here to help you get started. So make sure you take our courses to really help you out. And then you'll see right over here, we have 2 different types of trade alerts. We have our setups over here. These are the key breakout and breakdown areas that we're looking for, just from what I showed you guys on the watch list. These are trades that you take yourself. Again, right here we have our real-time alerts where you can follow our trades. You still want to know how to trade yourself, so don't just take a trade that we post without knowing how to trade yourself. That's why we have our courses right here in our trade rooms to help you out. So don't just blindly follow our alerts just because they fire off. Yes, they're really good alerts, but sometimes we're wrong, right? Even the best traders in the world, they still fail on trades. So don't just expect somebody to do everything for you. If you're new, you need to know how to trade yourself and know why you get in and out of a position. So we give you the tools to help you. It's just really up to you to implement them. So again, lots of content for you guys to help you guys out. If you're not a member yet, you could try us out below. The link will be below on our website. But again, take a look here. We post our watch list every day here. Our alert setups here, you just log in. You'll see them at night, every night here. Sign up for our real trade alerts over in here. And then as you guys can see, lots of garbaccio for tomorrow, not much for the watch list. But if you look under scanners, we post here trade ideas. Tomorrow we'll know if things are looking better or not. That's why we post the gappers right here with what's running in the morning. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Enjoy.